Well, hello, how are you doing tonight? Shirrie on video, going live with my disco ball rolling away here in the background, all of that. And out front, I see an ambulance at the door of this apartment. Well, somebody going to hospital here, right? I just pray he's okay, pray that the doctor find wrong and get him recovered quickly as possible. I pray a doctor may treat in the hospital. I pray those paramedics that can have to treat in the ambulance. I pray they all get their job done with quite efficiency, I guess. Well, tonight, well, some of you may be heading home, or have already got home after a long journey from wherever we came from, and the kids will be going back to school tomorrow in the March break. Well, March break is fun. It is great. And also now, guess what that means? You got to go to school and you got to get to listen to teachers and instructors because school is no joke. Yeah, going to school is one thing. It's a drag, but you know what? That's true. But I'm going to talk about what happens to students when they leave high school and they go to university and the do's and don't in welcome week at university. I'm going to talk about that a bit. You just graduated high school, it's behind you, and you want to go to university, college. I'm going to stay in one of the resident or one of the frat houses there, one of the fraternity houses around, college frat house or fraternity home, it's called fraternity house, and you're talking to them and all that. The next thing you know, you got people in the fraternity saying, "Hey, newcomer, you want to go out and have a few drinks at Honky Tonk Saloon, Jojo Saloon tonight?" Well, you know, I don't want to. Yeah, and another one comes, "Hey, do you want to go out for a couple of drinks tonight at AJ Holiday Saloon?" Oh, sure, sure. Okay. And then a student goes out and this new freshman at university. He sits there and what does he do? Well, listen carefully because he's gonna have this. He can go on everything and go boop 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 boop. And next thing you know, he's all drunk and disgusting, and he's starting to go, "Whoa, why? Oh my, what I've done so wrong. I got a splitting headache, and I dizzy like room is dizzy. I'm pooping my guts. What am I gonna do here? Whoa!" And next thing you know, a cop come. Next thing you know, the university police, come behind you. They knock on the dormitory door. "Come on with us, you drunk. Can't be drunk and soon resident. That no way to start your first year of university." "Oh, okay, well, I'll take you to a tank and sit in a drunk tank in a campus security off overnight. You're lying there. In the drunk tank. I'll go then come out of that in the morning, about 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay, you can go back to the dorm now. Get walk back to the dorm. And the guys will sitting at you saying, "Oh, you got interpreting. You ratted on us. You got us all in trouble, blah, blah, blah." Things like that. And then you got more trouble back at the dorm. You start to not do your study because you spend so much time trying to undo what they've done to you that you miss half your study. Then comes up to Christmas time. Oh, goody, Christmas. Professor, I'm sorry, but your exam you had got you didn't do well. Your exam was no good. You got every question wrong. Why? Oh, drinking going to college, I guess, not tolerated. For that, we have to cancel your intuition for remainder of the college. You go home, but you don't come back after Christmas. Oh, no. Oh, I just threw my intuition in the garbage, and what did I done so wrong? Oh boy. And that's what happens. A lot of first year students coming out of university into campus, they get into fraternity. And they say, let's go to the bar, get some drunk. And so, yeah, you ready to go to the bar, have a drink before you get too drunk and you can't do your study. That's not education. That is like you are already done it for other students who want to study hard to get their mark behind bars. When you do that, what do you think happens? What do you think happens? You want to know? I can tell you what happens. Quite a few things. And you being drunk, it affects the students in their studies, and they trying to get their marks. They try and get through the university and try to get all 3 years or 4 years out. How long they're going for? I want to get through it and get through it well. While drunken resident disrupts the studying of other students. So there you go. That's what happens with students that drink too much on campus. I think master campus, they do students find drinking all the time. They don't go. Matter of fact, they're actually suspended from the university at that point. We just suspend. We don't tolerate it. Most universities will do that to you. And even doesn't matter where you study at, and both of them will, any university will do that to you. Anyway, okay, that's scenario number one of how student can get it, how high school grad gets into that type of trouble. Now, okay, you graduated in high school, and you're going to go to a university college, university, and you picked out a dormitory, picked out a room in residence or a frat house. Before you get there, you got other resident people, other parents, other residents in there said, "Oh, do you want to go out to JoJo Bar and have a couple of drinks? AJ Bar and have a couple of drinks?" I got to, no, thank you. I'd rather get my studies done over drinks. Oh, okay, yeah. And you sit back, you sit down, you're starting to go over paperwork and stuff, what courses you have to take for you, learning what course that. And the guy come back drunk at night, you trying to study, and I'm sitting there, you're sitting there with big books in front of you and attempting to study and all that. You'd be sitting there with a big book in front, trying to, oh man, and man, you know. And he's just sitting there frustrated. I got all these other students drinking in the residence, and guess what? A few of them ended up getting expelled, and the one ruined a couple other not drinking. I was trying to study hard. You do studying, you learn. You go through your exams at Christmas, and guess what? You pass all your exams. With straight A, because they listen to a teacher, listen to instructors and professors at university, and they listen to lecturers too out there, and you did very well. And you go into a second year in the university, a little harder than first. First year, like your last year of high school, basically. Second year, even harder. You get in, you do the course, you go through get to Christmas, and come in May, you go in at the end, beginning of September, get in, walk in, and guess what? Sit there, do your exams, have the Christmas exams, leave, go home, and come back and mark. You passed everything on your exam with passed your second year exams, and you go in, come to mark break, do exams, you pass over flying color, have a nice week off, come back mark break for a month, then go into May. And into May, about just before, the end of April, you start more exams. You do those, and they're going to be, and guess what? You sail through them, you get all A's, and you go into a third year after that, and you go into out of third year, pass your flying color on, get into your final year of university. Comes the hard. Then they're going to put really hard stuff against you, and you're going to sit there, and they're going to all of what you learned right there going to have to put into play. Number A, trying to write exam. It's so complicated that you may end up You might make one mistake on the exam, that's how you learn, basically. But if all of a sudden that year go by, you pass it with flying colors, you pass the exam with flying colors, go home with Christmas, come back from Christmas, and they do another exam, March break. Pass that exam with good flying colors, you make it. Then you get to the last and final one you ever gonna do in the university. That exam there is tough. You're sitting there, you gotta go and you gotta do it, and you gotta sit there and you go over and over again, and you're getting like tired. Then you want to fall asleep, and then next thing you know, you can finish it. You hand it to your professor. Professor looks at it. Wow, you got all A. You got everything on this exam is right there. So we got a job for you lined up, and we got a working job for you already lined up on the university. The job is working as a lab assistant in the laboratory. So and Dr. Siri is expecting you there. Professor Siri Jackson is expecting you to come over and come in. And a person walks into in that lab, shakes the hand, right, and shakes Madam Siri hand. Well, we're doing some testing doing COVID tests on these, doing some back tests on monkeys. We're going to put acid in the blood and see how long it takes them to dissolve. Oh boy. And that's basically what happened. You get good, now your factory, you're pouring in hundreds of dollars a year, have a nice home, nice family, and you live happily and all that. And know what I say? You do. And after you live happily, everything happy. You're happy in life. You're happy here. Happy, 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 happy. And you're so happy is that you end up having a great time. And you wonder, what did I do? So I am wondering why. Well, you know what happened is somebody gone to the hospital and lights are on. Anyway, so you get happy, you go to the hospital, you go through hoping, you learn more, you get money, you travel over the place, and you have a beautiful home family. And that's what university is about. See? And not about going in and partying and getting drunk all the time. Not about Animal House. I can tell you stories. That movie, if you ever watched the movie Animal House with John Belushi in it, tell you where that movie was filmed. It wasn't filmed in anywhere nearby. It was filmed in a McMaster University. The scenes where they filmed the Burke Science buildings were in a couple of scenes in the background. They got, Toga Hall was one of the scenes in the background house. They did scenes in the refractory building. In the refractory building, they did scenes there. You get it? In there, in the old refractory, the Rathskeller, called Rathskeller, did those scenes there, and they did it well. And that were great scenes they did. Yeah. But if you look at it carefully, some of the buildings that they did in today are no longer long gone, replaced with newer, more modern ones. But believe it or not, it was but that's very true indeed. They done scenes right in the football stadium, while in the university football stadium where the Marauders played. There's a scene in there with the horse being killed, and at the end, the scene with the big fraternity parade at the end, they turned this car into an army tank, and they got dressed with accent, and they drove an army tank down in Street Restdale. They put up a fake building with a fake transformer in it, and a fake little area. That they ended up moving and got these band things, and one got all banned in a corner while the army tank comes in. And police tried to rough-hand it, and the army tank crashed in the hydro falls and transformer falls in somebody's bedroom, their bed when they lie in it. And that was a big, in real life, I'm going to tell you, an actual reality of that. And that is not the way you go through camping route. But here's the problem. If you do that, something like that, put a screw a hydropole right through somebody's window with a crash pole. Go through them, transport out. They won't live. They're dead with 50,000 volts going through it. No ifs and buts. Well, enough said about that. Remember, you're gonna go back to school tomorrow. Remember, when you get to high school, I'm encouraging you right now, listen to your instructor, professors, teachers. Oh, listen, you listen to your teachers, professors, instructors, and you do not go on. Your whole purpose you go in high school to get your education. The one product I can tell you, every high school or any school in the world will sell the best. The product that people don't think much of. What is that product? Education. You got it. So remember, you go to school, one thing, to get your education. Once you got your education, then you go to university, you get more education. Once you finish that, you have a job. Think about it. If you don't do that, and you don't listen to you then where would you be? You'll be sitting in a corner on the street somewhere, sitting around with no place called home. You can't rent an apartment. You don't have the skills to do so. So you are stuck on the street. And then you get caught in a hostile trap, that's another trap, where you don't see your allowance, never see anything, walk for nothing. It goes to pay you for stay. And you're stuck in that. You want to work extra, bum money, everything just for get out of trap, but you can't get out of it. You get on being on the street, that's another trap. You're stuck there. You can't get off it. You be poor can be. You can't. Your clothes are filthy. People look at you and go like that. Bomb, 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 like that. Shoot over at you and say at you, point you, bomb, point at you, bomb. Get it? Bomb. See? That was the get a job. Go and that. And thing like that. And lack of health care for another, not knowing how, and you get so across the street, you end up looking at yourself, why? I just want off the street. I can't get off. I'm stuck. And then next thing you know, what day will come, one night, cold, windy, snow was blowing, negative 40 below zero, and you feel like sleeping, go to sleep. But middle of the night, you look down, you see your body's like ice cube. You come out of your body and look down, and you walk up this gangway walking up towards it, and you go in the light, and guardian angel, Mr. Osborne, would say to you, well, you didn't follow teacher in high school. You didn't do this. You failed at everything when you get the education. I'm sorry, but there's only one place where you can go. And where? I did good on the street. I didn't kill anybody. I didn't do that. Well, you didn't do that. That's what I admit that. But still, we have to run you through a process first. And you get processed. And then once you actually been processed, you're going to go one place or another. Either you're going to go on Audrey's crazy train to hell, or you can be brought into heaven. And when you're brought into heaven, you look around, you see how beautiful you don't have dirty clothes, clean clothes. And you realize that, you're gone, dead. And then then they sit down, they turn on a nice room, have a TV in, turn the television on. It's showing news reports for news. We turn on the news, see it new. Another homeless man found dead on Hamilton Eaton, -40 negative 40 below zero, homeless man froze to death on Hamilton Street. Boom. I looking at you down that froze to death and died because of that. See? And that's the problem. Anyways, don't you end up in that pack. Go to school. Get your education. And when you get your education, you can also have a very good job. Think upstairs. Remember, only one person can do it. I can't do it for you. Only you can do it. Getting your education. Remember, listen to your teacher. Listen to your instructor. And that is what you got to do. The teachers, any professor, you listen to. Because you know why? The one thing they're doing is giving you a product. The product they're giving to you is education. The one product that any school will sell, whether it's in the world, you know what that product is? Education. Think about it. It sells best. Education will lead you places. No education, you got no job. No education, no job, homeless. See? With education, you're not homeless, you have a job. See? Think about it. The choice is up to you, all young high school students, even elementary, that if you want to, listen, get your education. That's the most important thing you're ever going to do in life. It's an investment. Investment, you know what they do? They bloom. They lead into jobs that could make you happy the rest of your life. Not lying on, and the government, not lying on Vince government. Okay, here's $600 welfare. There you go. Take it or leave it. Okay, I ain't gonna know if there's $750. You're getting about 800. Here you go. 800 on welfare. Boom. 800 on welfare. Well, 800. Yeah, 800 there. And he sit there and look at this $800. Boom. And he's trying to rent an apartment. Apartment rents are like over $1,500. You can't rent. You walk up the building, could be dirty. Look at you. Oh, I'm sorry, we don't rent to homeless people. Bye. See, and that leads to the street. But if you clean and respectable, you go to a building. What happens when you get to a apartment building? You look at you, oh yeah, come on, we do have an apartment for you to rent, and you look at why it's 1 bedroom. Yeah, I like how much rent. Oh, that is $475 a month. Yep, no person last. Yep, I want to go down and sign a lease right now. Boom. You walk into the office of the building, you sit in there, you read a lease agreement, then you sign on a dotted line. Well, $450. Okay, here you go. 450. Here you go. 450. Okay, here's the key. The apartment is yours. Thank you. See, that how it works. I know what I mean, but it's walking dirty into a high-rise building. It doesn't work at all. You do that. But I'm gonna have to say here, thank you for listening. Remember, tune in to Peacemaker's Journey tomorrow. Universities will be going on in March break right now. If you are, please, be cautious because they may be traveling to play. You might be taking a cruise or maybe going down to Florida, wherever you go. But please be careful. Now, if you're coming back from a cruise and it's a wonderful time on board a ship like Margaritaville Sea or wherever you went, what cruise went on, and you're heading back home back to Hamilton, you know what? When you get there, think about this. Got home, you're tired, you're exhausted, you lie down from home and you get up in the morning and you go to school, get to school, and your teacher will be saying, well, welcome back and all that. Just remember, you're coming home. When you do, you got school tomorrow. Remember that. You got to listen. Please, be safe. Really be safe out there. And don't drink and drive. Take a taxi, public transit, and be safe. And don't forget tomorrow, tune me in on 93.3 CFNU Hamilton. And this video is brought to you by Camp Cockwall, which is a wonderful kids camp. And more than kids camp, go to campcockwall.com. Coming out in May, it's a women's retreat. And we love to see you there at the women's retreat as well. I would love to see you there at the women's retreat, and I will be there too. I will try to upload uplink there, but it may not be very good. I may have the whole video until I get back back home and upload them while home. Pre-recorded stuff. Anyways, enough said about that. I got to get off the air here. I'm getting late now. At 10 o'clock, I got to go to bed now. Kind of getting tired. Okay, blog, end of transmission here.